Hello, I'm HistoryWes, and welcome back to Wes's World. We are doing a flyover of our little town. You can see I built a wall along the outside here facing the ocean. And let's take a look at our town, or our house rather. See, I've terraced it around with logs, oak logs. And I think the house looks okay. I don't think it's the best thing I've ever built, but it's okay. A simple block structure. But this has to be the build that I've used the most wood on of anything I've built, just because of all these logs for the terracing. I think I've mentioned before that I have always in survival built using just regular planks because I thought logs were just too horribly expensive, and this was a lot of trees. Fortunately, I have set up the start of a tree farm over here. I have spruce and oak growing. I've harvested those oak trees about half a dozen times. And we are in the process of building our auto farm for sugar cane. Already got our redstone hooked up here, and this is identical to the farm that I built in the Wells Night server, except that right now it's not going to do work because there's no collection. So what we need is a collection point, and that is going to be right here. Didn't mean to throw that away. Hello, dog. By the way, I have encountered now 5 different banner carrying illagers who come into town and want you to or try to attack you. And of course, if you attack them, you invite a raid on your village next time you enter the village. And I've had a couple of those, but I've also discovered, if you don't want to deal with that, at least at that moment, how to avoid that. When those illagers come in, simply hit them once and then let your dog or dogs kill them, and you will not be cursed. Problem solved. Especially if you have some vicious dogs. Good boy. Or you have some dogs like mine that are constantly in the way. No, don't sit there. Scooch. All right. See, get some uniformity here. There we go. A step pattern, and that way we can put glass on the front, and I should have some glass blocks just about ready to cook in the smelter. So on a future episode, we are going to decorate the interior of the house, because right now, as you will see, it's just empty except for a couple of chests and utility things like that. A bed. This will be the bedroom. This will be the enchanting room. These were all the bookcases that were naturally occurring in the village. which is partly why I need sugarcane in order to make some more paper, in order to make books, in order to make bookshelves, in order to make an enchanting station. Okay. Now we want glass here in the front, of course, to prevent the sugarcane from flying over and then despawning on the ground, which would be a horrible waste. Need a few more pieces of glass. While we're down here, let me show you this outbuilding here I built, which is a cactus farm. And it's my first cactus farm I've ever built, but sadly it is not working. I'm not sure what the problem is. Maybe if anyone out there knows, you could certainly clue me in. Just doesn't seem to be growing. I tried AFKing out here, and I know that the collection system works fine because I've tested it like so, and everything comes out where it's supposed to. It's just that the cactus isn't growing. Have I not left it enough space, or does this need to be one block higher? Don't know. Don't know. Whatever I do, I have to rebuild that building. It's kind of unsightly. It fits in with the rest of the village. I have to say, the thing about the new villages is I don't immediately feel like I need to either rebuild them or demolish them. You know, they're not the greatest designs ever, but they look decent enough that they can stay. And that's a big difference from the old villages. I have a nice patio there on the side up there. And I'm going to build some outdoor areas here too. All right. So the idea, of course, is to get everything that we need, all things that we can get that are renewable. Sugarcane, wool. We have a decent size herd of sheep over here, now with different colors. We will need cattle and pigs too. We need to finish up the other types of wood, and I cannot believe it, but apparently I did not bring any. I brought seedlings for all the trees except for dark oak. So I'm gonna have to go out and find some dark oak. Anyway, so this should be complete. This is the first type of farm I ever built, first auto farm. So I can pretty much do it and know that it functions. And here we go. Yep, there they go. And I think they even win in the collection system. Yep. Stick the rest of those in there too. Hello. I've already done this intro because I'm just returning, but fact is, it's been several days since I was recording last, and some things have changed. For one thing, we are playing now in Snapshot 19W02A, and one of the features is a campfire. And you can place a campfire and it makes smoke, and if you place a campfire on top of a hay bale, it makes really tall smoke. So you can make a working smokestack that looks just awesome. And here, let me set my shield down here and take a quick picture, because that's just pretty awesome. You can see I built a super smelter here. This is a Wells Knight design super smelter because it's easy, it works, and it looks pretty good. I have built it with blast furnaces on one side and smokers on the other. But I'm going to take these smokers out and replace them with regular furnaces, because there are too many things that neither the blast furnace nor the smoker will work on. For instance, turning cactus into cactus green dye. And I'm going to build a separate room as a smoker. I've also expanded the tree farm here with acacia and birch, and at the other end with jungle. Now, I also traveled a great distance by elytra and got both some terracotta and some dark oak saplings, which was the only kind of sapling that I didn't have. Unfortunately, on the way back there was a mishap due to playing in the Snapshot, and I fell through the world and died. So I had a situation much like I have right now with the game frozen. There we go. So I went to creative and I recreated my armor and tools. I'm trying to play this all survival, but you know, something like that that's beyond an act of God. I went to I just didn't feel like it was fair that I should lose everything because of the game just glitching out. And this guy and his two friends spawned inside of my sugarcane factory. So I killed them, and I'm just going to leave him in there for a while until I decide what to do. And finally, we're building a couple of things up here. In the earlier part of the video, I showed you my cactus farm here, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working, but I finally realized I had made a serious derp by putting these fence gates directly above the cactus instead of next to them, which prevented the cactus from growing. Now in this arrangement it works fine, it's producing, but I didn't care for that building, so I built this little house. Still not quite done, needs a few flower beds and some shutters, but if you look in the second floor window there, you can see a cactus is growing, and that's the same type of cactus farm in there that is in here, but the collection is down inside, down through these hoppers and into this chest, and it's not overly productive, but it does work. I've got 2 cactuses in there, so that's good enough for me. Let's see, do I have any food on me? No, of course not, just cactus. Okay. And here I've built a good old trusty AFK fish farm, and it goes way down here. And I'll be collecting all kinds of goodies in that by AFKing. If you are especially playing single player, there are so many things that I've been having trouble with my keyboard all day. There are so many things that you can get from Fish Farm that it's just difficult to get in quantity, food being the least of those. Leather, sticks, some saddles, bones, all that stuff. Really necessary, and you can get them early in the game with a fish charm. And of course, I'm still constructing the house. I'm going to build it kind of in the style of that little house that's over here in the distance, but I'll try and make it look a bit nicer. And I'm going to tear down this, and either over there or maybe right up here, I'm going to build that smoker I was talking about. This is a nice spot, and I can build some stairs going right down here so I can just carry the fish in. I might just leave this running for now until I think of something else to put there. Don't you just love that smoke coming up from that? That is just freaking outstanding. I love it. Okay, we've got our bridge here now, which needs to be fixed up to look nicer. And we are still going to do the interior of the house. Oh, I got a bell from one of the villages. They had two, so I took one. And of course, we need a stable. But I think that the very next thing we're going to work on will be a warehouse, which will be on the other side of the super smelter there, with an auto sorting system, and then an interior for the house. All that sounds good. So, I'd like to thank you for joining me here at Wes's World. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please leave those in the comments. I'd be glad to hear from you. Think about subscribing if you haven't already. And as always, keep on Minecrafting.